Can people see or hear us or no? Nice. Can people see or hear us or no? Nice. They can see or hear us.
Oh, hello everyone.
No. Nice. They can see or hear us.
Hello everyone.
No. Nice.
Thanks for.
They can see or hear us.
Hello everyone.
No. Nice.
Thanks for.
They can see or hear us.
Hello everyone.
No. Nice.
Thanks for.
They can.
Sure.
See or hear us.
Hello everyone.
I wish I could just start now. I hate the waiting. Is it? Good. I'm really happy with this mic actually. I got an insane deal on it. It's been good. All right. All right. Okay, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thanks to for Dan for having me on this great series. Really excited to play a program today, mostly of arrangements and originals that I've done myself. Mostly going to be borrowing from other genres today. I'm not really going to be playing any classical music per se. Mostly going to be some jazz and then some electronic tunes and then some of my own. The first couple of songs I'm going to play are by a guitarist named Ralph Towner, who is a jazz guitarist known for and originals that I've playing exclusively on acoustic guitars, actually, mostly nylon strings. He also was a great pianist, played in a style very similar to Bill Evans, and he kind of fuses this approach to his guitar playing and his guitar writing, which is great because we really don't have any music that kind of fits that aesthetic on the guitar. The first two tunes I'm going to be played are Along the Way and Simone by Ralph Towner. Let's see what's going on in the comments here. Hi Manjit. Hi Jen. It's my mom. Thanks, Karina. Hey, Chandler. Redneck country. Okay. Where's redneck country? Thanks, Cyrus. It's so nice being able to chat with people during a performance. Not used to this. Okay. The next tune I'm going to be playing is from Nils Frahm, who is a German pianist, electronic musician who fuses elements of contemporary classical music with jazz, electronica, and is kind of equally proficient playing in a concert hall setting as he is a nightclub setting. So he fuses techno music with classical and jazz, and it's a really unique blend. He actually studied in Germany with the student of Tchaikovsky. So he comes from that same sort of school of teaching, and his dad designed album art for ECM, which is the same record label as Ralph Towner, who I just played some songs by, and also Pat Metheny. So he was really influenced by this ECM sound. You can kind of hear it in the harmony and the sort of stark sounding melodies that he uses. This piece is called Somewhere Nearby, and it's actually an improvisation from one of his albums. This kind of writing really heavily informed my own writing, which I'll get to in a moment. Sorry if you see me putting my hand on the back of my neck. It's because it's freezing in here and my hands are already getting cold. Sup, doggy? Thanks, Isaiah. Arden, Ontario, northwest of Kingston. Okay, I'm gonna pretend I know where that is. I'm not very geographically confident with Ontario towns yet. Thanks, Manjit. So how's the sound is the sound good, everyone? I'm gonna have to take a little break at some point, so it probably a couple more pieces, and okay, good. And yeah, when I take a break, feel free to go fill up your beverage or your snacks, or you know, do whatever you need to do. I'll be back. Okay, so all right. So actually, the next few pieces are ones that I wrote. A little nervous to perform these because this is actually my first time really performing my own writing, and I didn't write a lot of this at the guitar. I wrote it at the keyboard, most of it. I kind of came up with voicings with my little MIDI controller. So a lot of the chordal voicings in these pieces are really tough on the left hand. So I'm definitely gonna do my best. Yeah, so these pieces basically, I called them Seascapes. Each of them is sort of based on a different oceanic image, one way or another. Having spent the last year back on the West Coast, after living in Milwaukee for a couple years, really taking advantage of being near the ocean and spending lots of time just kind of sitting at the beach. So yeah, got a lot of inspiration from nature. So the first one is called Emerald Tide, and it was actually conceived through improvising. Basically, I just wrote down what I improvised and then cut out the stuff that I didn't like. So there's quite a bit that yeah. It's only the stuff that I thought was worth writing down. Oh, and with these pieces, the idiom I'm writing in is sort of I don't really know what to compare it to other than some of the ECM music that I mentioned. Really inspired by Metheny, by Towner, by Frahm, by a lot of other guitarists who sort of fuse classical music with other styles of music, making it a little bit more accessible for wider crowds. guitar down for a sec to stretch. Okay, let's see what's going on in the comments. The sound is good in the car. Oh, interesting. Okay. Thanks, Krista. Thank you, Sandra. Wow, so many people. This is intimidating. Hey, Robert. Robert, you should be doing one of these concerts. Hey, Bilal. Thank you. Thanks, Isaiah. Oh man, this is nice being able to chat with everyone. I'm just gonna stand up and stretch for a sec here. I'll be right back. Sorry, I have very poor circulation in my arms. Oh, thanks, Krista's mom. Thanks, Andre. Yo, 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 homie. Thanks, Andy. Okay. Where's the kitty? The kitty, I was doing a live stream yesterday, and the kitty just was being really distracting, like jumping off of a 6-foot ledge in front of me, and just kind of sitting by my feet and like nuzzling me and stuff. So I had to take her across the street to her foster parents. But she's probably watching. She always listens to me play. Okay, this next one is also from, this is also an original piece called Sunlit Shallows. silence is so weird. I can't wait to perform live again. Jennifer, get the boy a heater. Yeah, no, it's I live in a basement suite. It's just always cold. So I'm used to playing with cold hands, but it's not ideal. But okay, I'm gonna play one more tune, and then I'm gonna take a little break, a little bit of a longer break, just to kind of stretch and drink some water and stuff. So this next one is called Moonlit Cove. Thanks, Peter Zong. Yeah, no distracting meows. That's right. Get a space heater. Very appreciated. Applause. Thank you. Verbal applause works too. I apologize for all of the joint cracking noises. I get really stiff when I kind of don't move for a while, so okay. I'm taking a break kind of here so that my strings can settle, because I'm using a really low tuning for the next couple of pieces. Just kind of want to give them a sec to stretch out so that they're not out of tune the entire time. Yeah, if anyone cares, I have tuned G sharp on the 5th string and C sharp on the 6th string. I recently, just the other day actually, got an 8-string guitar in the mail, which will hopefully save me from all of these ridiculous tunings. Spaghetti strings, right, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, thanks everyone. I'll be back in a few minutes. Just gonna turn off for a sec here. Okay. All right. Okay, I couldn't see myself on the screen. Yeah, Fritos are perfect for classical guitar playing. That's right. Good for your nails. um, yeah, if you don't have a drink, then yeah, go top up your drink. It's only 5 o'clock here, but we're in a global pandemic, so any time is acceptable. In the interest of time, since I've been kind of talking more than I anticipated, I'm just going to skip right to the Metheny. This has been one of my favorite Metheny tunes for a long time. For anyone who doesn't know Pat Metheny, he's one of the best guitarists, period. He's kind of known for fusing jazz with Latin music, folk music, classical music. He actually just wrote a piece for classical guitar as well. It's a great piece. This song is called "In Her Family," and it's from the album "Still Life Talking." He co-wrote it with Lyle Mays, who was a pianist. They're both also from the Midwest, and they tend to evoke a lot of sort of pastoral imagery in their music. Whenever I hear this piece, I just kind of imagine driving through rural Wisconsin and seeing the sort of idyllic landscape. Oh, actually, I arranged this piece for I arranged it with 8-string guitar in mind, but I didn't get the guitar soon enough, so I'm playing it on 6 strings. That's hence the weird tuning. Once again, I'm going to give the strings a moment to settle here. To give you an idea of why I ordered a guitar with 2 extra strings, my 6th string is now being tuned from F all the way down to a C in the course of a concert. So it's really hard to stay in tune when you're kind of constantly changing these tunings. But good practice to kind of get used to tuning mid-piece and whatnot. I'll be re-recording a lot of these pieces with lower bass notes pretty soon. Okay. Next tune I'm going to be playing is called April 14th, and it's from the album Drux by Richard D. James, better known as Aphex Twin, who's kind of the leading I would say the world's leading figure of electronic music. Kind of traverses every possible subgenre, from like acid techno to ambient to these classical piano solos. Really brilliant mind. Just next 2 tracks I'm gonna play are from. I recorded these for my album that I just released, which is all arrangements of Aphex Twin for 1 guitar. Some of the most difficult things I've ever played. Musically, very, very straightforward. Easy to listen to, easy to follow. But really, really difficult. In the second song I'm going to play, Alberto Balsam, I had to sort of sit down with the recording and really slow it down and listen to every individual synth part to sort of get a sense of what was happening. And then I had to change the key on top of it, so it was a ton of, really some of the most work I've ever had to put into a piece. And it sounds easy, of course. Come on, C string. For anyone wondering why I'm yanking the string, it's just a way of kind of stretching it out so that it doesn't creep back up to the pitch that it was at before. And it's not going to break, don't worry. Need to remember to trim the strings before the concert next time. Yoink that string, that's right. Yeah, thank you to anyone who has donated. It means a lot. Yeah, not not the most lucrative times, needless to say. And thank you so much to Daniel. Daniel's been doing so much for musicians in Canada throughout the pandemic by by running this amazing series, all in which all the proceeds go to the performer. Really, really selfless of him. So please support his series in any way you can. But I think he's selling merch now. You can go to the website and get a mug or a t-shirt, whatever you want. Concerts for the End of Time. Okay, we're in somewhat normal tuning again, so give it a sec to settle, see what's going on in the comments. $60 comments, wow, okay. I'll have to read those all later. Okay, this next song is also by Aphex Twin, and it's called Alberto Balsam, which is actually it's actually a discontinued shampoo. Most of his song titles are kind of just nonsense or a Cornish dialect. So either way, things that most people can't really make sense of at the first reading. This music has the sort of 90s, early 2000s aesthetic baked right into it. So I'm pretty sure that Alberto Balsam was a shampoo that kind of was popular in like the early 90s and kind of disappeared. But he named the song after it, and the song is much more famous than the brand ever was. Donating so I can buy some Thai food. Thank you. Thanks, Cyrus. Anything counts. it's already been an hour. Okay. I have just one tune left. This is this is an arrangement of a famous tune by Thelonious Monk called "Round Midnight." I'm sure most people are familiar with this song. Really common bebop standard ballad in the key of E flat minor, which is about as unfriendly a key as it gets for solo guitar. But Dyens had this tendency to sort of not change keys for anything, and to sort of use tuning to accommodate the unusual keys, which is an approach I have kind of adapted into my own arrangements. As guitarists, you get really sick of sort of playing in the same few keys over and over again. So it's nice to have a piece that's in a kind of unusual tonality. Yeah, that's right. That was it, man. Mandra, you must remember the commercials then. Yeah, I was born, I think, right on the cusp of that era, so kind of missed out on that. Once again, thank you everyone who's watched, who's donated, who's commented. Hopefully this entertained you for an hour. Feel free to stick around afterwards. I'm gonna be chatting with Daniel for another hour or so about music and other whatever really comes up. I guess I'm not sure what we're gonna talk about, so feel free to stick around and chat with us in the comments. Okay. That's all. Hey, Renee. Thanks, Leo. Thanks, Scott. Encore? Yeah, what could I do? I probably could do something. Here, instead of doing an encore, I'll show you my new guitar here. Got this new guitar. I was really hoping to. Hoping to play this today. Has 8 strings, 2 extra low strings, but yeah, I just couldn't get used to it in time, so I had to make do with 6. But going forward, I'm mostly going to be playing on this, I think. So here's kind of what it sounds like. Yeah, I couldn't really get used to it in time because of the extra strings, but I can at least kind of demonstrate on it. Show you what it sounds like. So right now I have a B below the low E string, and then also a G below that. So you can kind of tune it however you want. But I'm going to be doing a lot of jazz tunes as well as keyboard transcriptions with this. Kind of writing a dissertation around it as well, so gonna be playing this lots. It's probably the last concert I'll play on a 6-string for a little while, actually. So Daniel, how does this work? Do I just kind of here put on headphones so I can see if you're saying anything? Oh. I can't hear you very well, Dan. Oh, now I can hear you. Yeah. What do you think of this guitar? It's pretty awesome, hey? The past few days have been torture because all I want to do is just play it, but I can't because it'll screw me up. It sounds so good though. Yeah, I love it. If Jeff Sigurdsson built this for me. So Jeff, if you're listening, amazing work. This is I honestly have never had this fun playing a guitar in my life, so pretty happy about it. Oh, what's going on? Oh no, we can't see you. You could project the little image, a little
All right, yeah, I think I'll put, yeah, I'll just use my regular camera for a moment. Oh, and
Sure.
Zoom is gonna freeze up in a second if I'm not careful. Oh.
I'll see what's going on in the comments.
Yeah, it's all good. It's just I might have to wait a few seconds here before we start. But man, that concert is sounding great, man.
The end. Renee saw a bit of the only piece that he's actually worked on with. It's yeah. The rest is he's never seen. So
okay, cool. That's wild.
Yeah.
So how did you feel in this concert? I mean, it was
pretty chill actually. I thought I was gonna be extremely nervous, but
man,
I don't know. I think being at home, you have the freedom to sort of do a bit of exercise before, or meditate, or just kind of walk around.
Yeah.
Do whatever you need to do. So a little bit less. I didn't feel too bad actually. I mean, I could have played some things better, but I felt like for a live stream concert, it went okay.
Yeah, I mean, it was fantastic. I was having a great time.
Thanks.
Yeah. Just give me one second here. I'm gonna actually just use my regular camera today, which I almost never do, but for some reason my main camera is giving me a bit of a headache here.
Do you mind if while you do that, I'm gonna go get a drink actually.
Sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, you should have one too.
Yeah. I'm gonna get that set up. Just give me a second here. Sorry with this, everybody. It's freezing up a bit. All right. So, might have to just restart Zoom real quick. All right. What's going on here?
Technical difficulties?
Yeah, just technical difficulties real quick. Oh, man. Sorry about this.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to be able to play this guitar now.
Yeah, it's great.
That's all I can think about. It's I tried picking it up yesterday, and when I went back to the 6th string, I felt like I had to relearn everything.
Yeah.
Like it was I didn't know. I couldn't tell which string was the 6th, and I kept expecting there to be a 7th string, and so
yeah.
I think eventually I want to be able to play concerts with both, because some things are just better on 6 strings.
Okay, I'm just gonna start the Zoom in 1 second. You can just stay where you are, and I'll be right back in a second. Okay?
Sure.
The meeting's just Man, I don't know what's going on here. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. There we go. And I'm just gonna do that.
Okay.
Good.
Oh,
and you know what? I'm just gonna use this camera today. Normally I have whoa, who's that other guy? All right.
Oh
cool.
Wow, you're really up high. I didn't realize you were in a.
Yeah, I'm in the 18th floor actually. Where I am
I really
right now.
do not envy you right now.
Oh, do you have vertigo?
No, just being in Toronto, living in a apartment like that during this.
Yeah, well, it has its nice moments and it has its dark moments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So everything is relative, you know. So
Yeah. I mean, just being able to walk out the door and be at the ocean in like 5 minutes is something I'm never gonna take for granted again.
Yes, there's something really truly special about that. I mean, that's just you can't really beat that. It's just it's just the greatest.
Not a bad place to ride out a pandemic, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I've you know, it's really sad. I've only been to the ocean a few times in my life, and they've always been in Trinidad and Japan. Japan are the only places where I've seen the ocean, but I've never seen the Pacific Ocean from that side. It's just
maybe we'll have to figure something out then, huh?
Yeah, we definitely do. And so just as we're starting, sorry for the technical difficulties, everyone. Thank you for waiting, and thank you for watching this awesome concert, and thank you, Simon, for such a great concert. And thank you to everyone who has donated. It's just great. There's so much support. This was a very successful concert, and I just think you crushed this repertoire. It was awesome.
Thanks.
It just seemed so easy, and the voice control was so nice, and it just felt like really refreshing to watch.
Oh, thanks, Dan.
Yeah, and I just want to, we'll just talk about a bunch of different stuff. We're both kind of talkative guys. We can basically talk for hours. So, could you tell the audience a little bit about how you started playing the guitar?
Yeah. Well, I was kind of just bad at sports. Kind of bad at everything, really. Just, I don't know. Just kind of, an unfortunate kid, I guess, in a lot of ways. But my parents were really encouraging to start music lessons, and I thought I would play acoustic guitar, but at the time I thought it was pronounced glue stick guitar. So I remember actually telling my mom that I wanted to take glue stick guitar lessons, and she knew what I meant, luckily, and she signed me up for lessons with Stephen Lockbaum, actually.
Stephen Lockbaum, okay.
Yeah, Steve Lockbaum at the Victoria Conservatory.
Wow, that's a great start to music lessons.
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, I studied with another guy, Warren, I forget his last name first, but then it was only a few months, then I went to Steve. And
wow.
I was not one of his better students. If you ask him, he will tell you. Not a exemplary student.
Well, not everybody who becomes successful is straightforward, So everybody's got a different
that's
path.
What I try to keep in mind with my own teaching, because I teach a ton of kids right now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, a lot of kids just kind of figure things out later.
Yeah.
For me, it was really high school, I think, that I started to kind of sink into it a bit. But when I switched, I studied with Bradford Werner.
Yeah, Bradford Werner. Yeah.
This is classical guitar.
This is classical guitar.
Huge site. Yeah, he was my teacher for about 6 years.
Wow.
And I remember when he started that website, and it was tiny. It was just kind of, he meant it for his students, really. And it just blew up.
Yeah, and his method book is pretty solid,
for
beginner
it's great.
guitar.
It's excellent. Yeah, I use it for all my beginners. It's really intuitive, and it's easy, and it's structured in a nice way too, that kids really feel like they're making progress with it.
Yeah.
Then I switched to just before university. I started taking lessons with Alex Dunn at UVic, and that's kind of when things took off.
Right.
My playing.
That's when the rockets started to launch.
Really, really fortunate to be, especially in such a small place like Victoria, to have someone of that caliber teaching here.
Yeah. He's really a legend. Yeah, really a legend.
Yeah.
It's
very, very lucky. Most small places in Canada don't have that. It was nice sort of being able to stay at home and save money too, so that I could go away for the masters and study with Renee.
Absolutely. Yeah, so
to,
Rene Izquierdo is actually in the audience. He's actually, hey Rene, how's it going, man? Thanks so much for catching it. He caught it just towards the end, and he was messaging me and was saying, he was like, I'm rushing home, trying to watch it on the phone.
No, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I should have played faster so I missed it. I'm glad I didn't see he was there because I would have got really nervous. I was super relaxed.
Yeah, Rene's a legend.
Yeah, I would have panicked.
Yeah, so you studied with Rene for 2 years during your masters. That's amazing.
Yeah, he was really nice of him to take me in actually. The only way I could do it was with the assistantship. So yeah, I mean, as an international student, it's not really. I mean, you've done it.
Oh yeah.
It's pretty hard living in the U.S. on the Canadian dollar. It doesn't really amount to much. So,
it's hard living in the U.S. as a Canadian.
Yeah. So really,
it's just leaving your wallet places is a thing that I do. From time to time. I never did that after.
Because our money is worth nothing there.
Yeah, but just
he saved me by giving me that assistantship because it wouldn't have happened otherwise. So and he basically I kind of think Alex kind of taught me my right hand, and Rene taught me my left hand.
I see.
So the two kind of evened out, and now I can sort of play.
That's amazing. And Jeff is going to be a combination of both, I guess.
Yeah. I actually haven't had a single lesson with Jeff.
That's wild.
We've had a lot of research sort of oriented discussion, but I haven't had an actual sit down lesson with him. So I'm really excited to start studying with him.
Yeah.
I didn't take lessons because I know you only get 2 years in the DMA, so I didn't really want to waste a year on Zoom. I figured wait till we're
right. That makes sense. So it's wild. So one thing about your performance is that you played one of your own compositions, and that was amazing. Those are really great pieces.
Oh, thanks. Thanks a lot.
People are gonna start playing that. That's really just.
They will until they realize how stupidly hard some of the voicings are. I sacrificed so much just for one ninth or something.
Right.
Just to kind of, I don't know. I think I want to start writing for other people though, because I'm kind of just writing for myself. It's kind of indulgent in a way, just write with as many juicy chords as you can and play them. But I want to write a piece actually for Mike Ibsen. I want to write one for him.
Right.
And I want to utilize his gigantic hands.
Yeah, he has great, huge hands.
Yeah, I want to kind of. I like the idea of writing for someone else based on their kind of physique and their playing and their taste and that's kind of what I really want to do.
That's amazing. Wow. Yeah. So when with your own compositions, on the guitar, I'm really interested. What is your process for writing a guitar piece?
Oh man. I kind of usually start just by having a melody in mind, and then from there, I'll usually go to the keyboard. I have just a little tiny MIDI controller, and just kind of try out some new voicings that I wouldn't kind of find on the guitar, and then write stuff down in Sibelius, which kind of sucks right now. It's it's a total pain. Don't buy it, and. Then after that, I kind of play through it on guitar and see what actually is playable and what's not. I like to try to avoid guitar isms.
Guitar isms. That's interesting.
Yeah,
we were talking about this earlier.
I don't know. I have a lot of piano envy. I'm not gonna
deny
it. And I think that definitely comes through. I like big block chords with really wide kind of spacing. I like really dark keys too.
The flat keys.
Yeah, or the really sharp keys like B, C sharp minor and whatnot. I don't know. I don't really. I kind of. I've started improvising a lot too, with the guitar in hand. Most of it just kind of gets forgotten, but
Right.
occasionally I'll hear something and I'll be like, oh, I should write that down, and then kind of blossoms from there.
Right.
So it's like a combination of improv and like meticulous writing, I guess.
And you know, this is something I've been talking to people a lot recently about. How do you approach improvising on the guitar? Because, you know, for a lot of classical guitarists, they have no idea what people mean when they say that. How do I improvise on the classical guitar? I love to improvise all the time. How would you approach improvising with a new guitar?
I'm trying to figure that out myself. I mean, it's not taught. It's just it's absent from conservatory teaching mostly. I mean, I'm sure there are some schools where it's taught, but not the ones I went to. I don't know. I mean, for me, I've spent a lot of time actually getting to know the instrument, playing through modes and scales in every position, every key, taking like little motifs or whatever and transcribing them, transposing them to other keys. Just really getting to know the instrument, doing like arpeggios, not in the
yeah, those
not in the
Giuliani, so boring.
That kind of thing where you're actually going through every scale degree. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of feel like I know the instrument, so I just kind of let the hands decide what to do.
Yeah,
I think that's the big thing. I think most classical guitarists, we're all so concerned with just kind of playing the same thing over and over again perfectly.
Yes.
But most people, when they're kind of put on the spot, can't generate, you know, an idea on the fly because they don't spend time actually, you know, drilling these harmony exercises. But obviously, it's different for jazz guitarists. This kind of thing is like entry level. To get into a program, you have to be able to just kind of do everything in every key, and
yeah, and I feel like that is in so many ways the direction that classical guitar is really going. It feels like
I think so too. Yeah, I think people are realizing musically how much ground there is to cover.
Yeah, it feels like we're crossing through all these different genres, and it's because we never really fit in the classical sphere entirely.
Where it's a constant struggle to be relevant, right?
Yeah. But it's interesting because it means that we're kind of like the wanderer. We're kind of going through all of the different genres, and it's
so
interesting.
True. Even in music school, like guitarists are always like kind of odd category. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. I've met some interesting people, I guess, but
yeah. Every instrument has its own kind of personality that goes with it. It's very interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
I always feel that the guitar is there's something very nomadic about it. There's something very
it's a campfire instrument. You know?
It's a campfire instrument.
There's always been that folk element.
Yeah, definitely.
Even you know, since its inception, it's a folk instrument. You know.
Folk instrument, yeah.
Kind of instrument that people, you know, sit around and strum in a circle.
Yeah. And I always find it so interesting that, you know, it has always had that function. It's always had a community function. And when we play classical guitar, we actually play by ourselves, by and large. You know. So
yeah, I know.
What does that say about a kind of person that decides to become a classical guitarist? It's very
exactly right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think at least most classical guitarists I know are pretty well suited to the pandemic lifestyle. Especially people like you who have like an online hustle, who can kind of, I don't know. Yeah.
I click a lot of buttons really fast and I type fast.
Yeah. I don't know. Like honestly, the past few years have been isolating. Before COVID, I was, you know, practicing till 3 a.m. and you know, I wasn't going out to the bar every night with friends or everything. Just kind of just practicing all the time and teaching and whatnot, you know.
So. I remember many times I would go to the bar and I would sometimes get pretty tipsy, and then I'd come back and I'd like get into the practice room right before like 11:59, you know, so I could get in before 12 before it locks, and then just practice all night. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the best practicing. My neighbors, when I in my second apartment in Milwaukee, were extremely disrespectful.
Okay.
You know, just well, I won't go into like explicit details.
Yeah.
Try to keep it PG, whatnot. But lots and lots of noise coming from every direction all the time. So, I mean, if it's a mutual disrespect, then you know I'll play till 3 a.m. and I won't feel bad about it. But if you live with people who you actually, you know, respect, then it's a different story.
Yeah.
You don't want to practice till 2 a.m. But
yeah.
I miss it though. I like those late night practices.
Yeah, and it's such an interesting guitarist thing to do that. You know, I know so few guitarists who actually wake up early in the morning and practice it. So many of them.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it's just they're nighthawks. It's weird. Yeah.
Well, yeah, other instruments like wind players, their embouchures get kind of tired by the end of the day if they've been practicing, right?
Yeah.
Or singers, you know, you can't just sing all day. But you can play guitar all day.
You can play guitar all day.
It hurts, but
it does.
You probably shouldn't, but
well, there's something about the portability too that makes it.
You can do it outside. Yeah, you can do it anywhere.
You can play like a campfire. I mean, but you can play. Yeah. You know, in the stairwells, you're always here in every school.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I always think about the psyche. You know, the psyche of a classical guitarist. Like, why did they decide, you know, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, every single style and genre of guitar I can think of is really best suited to, like, being part of a larger ensemble. But for some reason, classical guitar is this primarily solo instrument. And what does that, you know, I think there's something about people who, like, really want to do their own thing, you know? They want to, like, kind of live their own life. It's very individualist instrument. It's very yeah.
I mean that's an interesting point. I would say most people in the guitar circles I know I would describe as very independent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good point actually. I've never really thought of it that way, but
yeah, because it's like what did you do in this concert? I mean, you actually presented a program of all this music. He's like, I'm going to fit this into this guitar.
Just cram it in.
Just cram it in.
Yeah. I mean, that's the satisfying part for me.
It's amazing.
Just kind of taking as many moving parts as I can and kind of putting them into one. Which is why electronic music is so appealing to me because it's really orchestral. You know, it's synthesized, but it's there are so many different colors and different voices happening at any different time, and it really translates well to piano or to guitar. And just I like the idea of kind of reducing the music to its simplest form too.
Mm-hmm.
Other people have done it. I'm not the first, that's for sure.
Yeah. But
next is going to be a bunch of Radiohead covers.
That's going to be awesome. I was going to say, why did you choose Aphex Twin as your first EP? I guess.
I just listened. I listened to it a lot.
Okay.
When I was, the past few years, I've been driving a lot. I guess I drove from here to Wisconsin. When I was in Wisconsin, I drove to like Toronto a bunch and kind of all over the U.S. and then I came back. So whenever I'm driving, I like to listen to like music that kind of gets you focused, you know.
Right.
Especially ambient, electronic kind of music, really repetitive stuff. Almost meditative, really. I just find it helps me kind of pay attention to whatever I'm doing. So I like it for that reason, but I mean it's also just super harmonically interesting contrapuntal music. Really, he takes a lot of influence from people like John Cage as well, who we don't really have any repertoire from.
Right.
So yeah, I think it's. I don't know. I like the idea of reimagining popular music in kind of a concert hall setting. You know.
Yeah, and I mean that's really a very, very time-honored tradition in the guitar. I mean, if you look at what Giuliani was doing his time, you know, he wrote all the Rossignana, right? They're all
opera,
pop music.
It was variations on popular like opera themes.
Yeah, and people would be watching that. It'd be like a medley, you know. Like.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like as guitarists, a lot of us are either kind of stuck in this sort of mindset of playing, you know, traditional guitar rep written for the instrument, or like, you know, arrangements, or kind of just playing really wacky shit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I think there's an in between. I think there's somewhere in between for sure. But yeah, I like the idea of just kind of being able to play a concert and having people be like, "Oh, I know this song. I'm excited to hear it." You know,
right?
Not like, "Oh, Villalobos. Okay, what's
Hector. That's not Hector.
Yeah, not that I love playing that, and I love hearing that. A lot of that stuff. It's
love
just,
that stuff too.
Yeah, I mean it's popular for a reason, but
yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of people are doing it, so I don't feel like I need to be doing it as well.
Yeah, and you know, it's very interesting. From an entrepreneurship standpoint, it's very strange to think about the typical trajectory that we all seem to be told is correct in classical music. Like, to just go to music school and get the degree that everybody else does, playing the same music that everybody else plays, and then we get out.
Minor little differences. Maybe.
Yeah. You know, and you've all learned these same things, and then you come out and you're expected to have a career. But like, you know, everybody is doing the same thing, and invariably, only a very, very, very small amount of people can end up, you know, really making a career on the time
to stand out
and stuff. Yeah,
because you have a lot of people doing it really, really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. The level is just so high. There's a million people. If you play a piece by a certain composer that's standard rep, there's going to be a million other people who are playing it probably, you know, just as well. So it's, I don't know. Competitions, I think, are a big culprit in that mentality. Yeah,
100%.
You know, you want to play the pieces that kind of are flashy and, you know,
get enough scales in there.
Yeah.
Just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the answer is, but this pandemic has completely made me like do a 180.
That's interesting. You feel it's made you do a 180?
Yeah, I think. Well, before I was really just gearing up for competitive playing.
Mm-hmm.
Renee finally told me, you know, you're ready. You can go now.
Sure. Yeah, he's letting you out of the cage. Just
yeah. So I was excited, really excited.
Just ripping your shirt off.
Yeah. Nope, it didn't happen. So, there's online competitions, but you're competing with everybody else in the world who is good in Europe and Asia, the U.S. and
yes.
Everyone's got really nice gear. And it looks and sounds amazing, and
yeah.
I don't know. It's tough. I mean, I'm glad they're still happening. I think it's keeping people on their toes and stuff. Kept me on my toes for a few months making those videos. Forced me to get a good mic and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I think once they go back to being in person, people are gonna kind of be grateful for it.
Mm-hmm. People are gonna think about it differently, I think.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't know when that's going to be. Renee doesn't seem to think it's going to be anytime soon. Like maybe places will have like a one round online, and then, you know, the rest in person if you make the cut or whatever. But
yeah, like the GFA already is, right? That's been a thing for years, right?
They get way more money from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's a very strange world because, you know, increasingly you see people who are training their whole lives for this particular activity.
Oh yeah.
And it's very interesting. You see the same kind of. I always find it's interesting to compare it to martial arts. If you think about it, like, in martial arts, these traditions, like, they come about as a result of like organic situations where they have to like learn how to defend themselves or whatever, and then eventually someone says, oh well, like, it's a safe time, so let's all get together and we'll practice our skills with each other and we'll try to improve and become the best we can be. And then eventually everyone starts competing, and then eventually the rules have to get, they have to get created so that it's fairer for everybody. And then gradually you end up training people just to compete within the confines of that competition, which is itself a limited set of skills. And in music, I think that seems to be happening with competitions, because there are so many other skills that we can develop as classical guitarists that aren't usually talked about.
As guitarists.
Yeah.
I think they're going to come back in a big way, though. I think people are going to be really kind of jumping the gun to play in person in any way possible.
Absolutely.
Including competitively.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean,
no idea what I'm thinking about when that happens now.
Yeah, of course, and there's something exciting about going to those festivals that, like, you cannot replace.
The best part is just like, I met you at the Hamilton Festival.
Yeah, absolutely.
I met Renee at the Hamilton Festival. Like, you have to have these things for people to kind of cross-pollinate and for connections to be made, and that's completely gone with this online thing.
It's wild. So that's something I like to always ask people when they come onto this channel, because this channel, of course, was created during the pandemic. That's why it's called Concerts for the End of Time. Obviously hyperbole. I don't really think it's the end of time, but it's alarmist enough to get clicks or something. But anyway, yeah, DSE, right? So, oh, that sounds so good. Oh my god. Well, Alex Bougie he got an 8-string too, an auto guitar trio. I know, and and you can actually like do slap with it, right?
Oh, he's great. Well, he's got so much experience with other, like, he's a drummer as well, right? So
yeah, and he's such an excellent electric guitarist too. Like, just
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can really. It's so obvious when someone kind of is good at playing other kinds of music, you know. Yeah, I can tell by his Abasi kind of technique that he's played bass before.
And he's played like in like all these System of a Down cover bands and like all these different cover bands, and so he's really, really good. But one thing I was going to ask you is that we were kind of alluding to this earlier, like something I like to always ask people is about the pandemic itself. Like I said, this series was created for the purpose of dealing with this pandemic as a sort of survival mechanism for us all, but the silver lining of the whole thing seems to be that everyone has found a greater connection to their real values, I guess. I find that this is a common thread that I've found with everyone I talk to. It's like we've become more aware of our values or the things that really, really matter to us. How has the pandemic done this for you? And yeah, how has the pandemic helped you find your values? Or has it, am I just assuming that it has?
Yeah, that's a big question.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it totally has. I mean, there's a silver lining to everything, really. Yeah, I mean, I think it's made me realize that I'm more interested in other kinds of music.
Right.
And that was the big one. And that life is short, and if you're interested in something, you should do it.
Right. Totally.
So, so I think that was the big one. Also, just not taking where I live for granted.
Yeah, you live in a pretty beautiful part of the world.
Well, it's up until now. It's people have been really good about COVID rules. We haven't had a lot of cases compared to other places in Canada.
Yeah.
So I mean, it hasn't been as horrible here as it has been over there.
Wow.
For instance.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's made me realize that I actually could theoretically be happy, somewhere. If I had a job or something, I could theoretically be happy somewhere that's not maybe as connected with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be moving to Yellowknife in a few months, so.
Wow.
Which is in, if anyone, any American friends are watching, you probably won't know where that is. It's about. I don't know how far it is from the U.S. border, but it's near the Arctic Circle. It's in the Northwest Territories.
It's not the Arctic Circle?
Near the Arctic Circle.
Okay, so it's just short of it.
62nd parallel north or something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
wow.
Beautiful up there, but yeah, very, very remote. But yeah, I always thought, I need to be in a big city to kind of make things work. But
yeah, Peter
obviously,
Jong said definitely need a space heater.
Yeah, I'm coming to Toronto at some point, but my wife Ella, she's working in the territories now doing vaccinations,
wow,
COVID vaccinations, and yeah, loves it. So she wants to keep working up there. So we're gonna kind of bounce between the two, between Toronto and there and Victoria, I guess.
Wow, those places are all very, very different.
I know, yeah, but in all in good ways,
Yeah. Yeah, there's things that one each has that you can't replace anywhere else.
You can't go see a show at 2 a.m. and eat good food or anything, in Yellowknife.
Wow.
But in Toronto, yeah. So I'm hoping to kind of take advantage of all the city stuff and then kind of spend the summers just hiking and whatnot.
So in Yellowknife, I mean, it's just constant day right now, right? They don't have nighttime basically.
Not yet.
Oh, not yet. No,
it's still frigid up there. Maybe Ella can comment how cold it is.
Wow.
Actually, I have two friends up there. Isaiah Brabazon is up there too. He got a job in the mines, so we're gonna jam some duos together.
Wow. Ella, your wife. So Ella Aitken is your wife.
Yeah, there she is.
Oh,
she's overheating.
Yes, I'm sitting. Buildings don't hesitate to blast the heat, so your hands will be very warm. That's awesome. Yeah, I guess.
I need to read some of these comments. Sorry.
Yeah. There's some great comments in here.
Steve was a great glue stick teacher. Yeah, he was. I love the smooth, sensual sounds of the Spanish guitar.
Yeah.
That's my brother. He always pretends to be like a old lady who likes.
Okay.
Like the old people who like Segovia LPs.
I totally thought that was real.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a jazz musician, so.
That's great. So your brother is a jazz musician.
Yeah, he goes to Humber in Toronto.
Wow, that is such an amazing program. That is such an amazing program. Like, I can't say enough cool things about that program.
You know some people there?
Yeah, I've met a lot of people who have done that program, and it's just so cool because in your third year you get like this capstone project where you just have to make an album, and that just sounds like the most practical thing I've ever heard.
every music student in the world should have to do that.
Yes, totally. I'm making my first album this year, and it's like, what? Why
ridiculous. Now? It's ridiculous. Everyone should know how to make a freaking album.
Yeah, absolutely, man. For sure.
Things they don't teach you in school.
Patrick Yasko said, Dan, how did you grow a mustache in 3 days? Yeah, I don't know, man. My hair is really thick. I talked to Patrick 3 days ago. Yeah. Some good comments here, though. Someone said, so any Taylor Swift covers in the works? No Taylor Swift?
Yeah, I should do a Taylor Swift cover. You know what? That would get you views.
That would get you cash, money.
It'll get you...
Well, you might not be able to monetize it because of copyright.
Yeah, that's true. But it will get you attention.
Yes.
If you do Taylor Swift covers.
That's what it's all about.
If they're good.
Yeah.
And then Renee says, and then falling apart in the morning running on coffee.
Yeah, I actually didn't get the context for that comment.
I think we were talking about staying up late practicing.
Oh, yes!
And he's remembering when I showed up to my lessons basically zombified.
Right, yeah. It's very oppressive to ask guitarists to do things in the morning. It's just...
Yeah. I felt so bad. I was barely keeping my eyes open. It was not early either. It was like 10 a.m. And poor Renee had to suffer through like trying to wake me up.
Yeah. One time in the worst the worst it ever got for me in undergrad, I was in a lesson with my student, and
You fell asleep?
I actually fell asleep. I was like, okay, yeah.
Were they playing?
They're playing this something from the Aaron Shearer book for sure. Yes. No, I wish it was that good. I think it was. I don't know if you know the Aaron Shearer book, but I think it was this one. It was.
Okay, fair enough. I've been there. I know those lessons.
And I'm not making fun of them. I love my students. They're all great, but it's wonderful to watch the work happen. I'm glad I get more sleep now because that I haven't done that in years. Thank
I don't
God.
know what your teaching situation has been like this year, but it's pretty taxing having to teach beginners over Zoom, hey? Or at all when you can't like manipulate their fingers for them.
Yeah. Well,
it's pretty frustrating for students, I think.
Yeah. I think
a lot longer.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna appreciate over time the fact that I learned how to do things without touching their hands because, like some students like were really averse to that, and I always tell my students like before like I move their hands or something, I say like are you okay with me touching your hands?
Oh yeah, of course.
And of course.
Their hand.
Yeah, I just but even when you ask that, sometimes the students like you'll never really know for sure if they're it's always nice if you can just like I find it's really nice to be able to say like okay, like move this hand here, and I use plucking hand and fretting hand so that they don't get confused, and
it actually improved my teaching. I think just kind of being forced to find ways to tell things to a 6-year-old who's trying to figure out guitar in the middle of a pandemic. It's you kind of have to choose your words. It can be tough to get them going.
Yeah, I think the thing that is basically worse than dying is the only thing that's really is when you have to teach them how to tune their guitar when they don't understand the concept of tuning, and even when you have a tuner, and then the parent gets involved, and it can be quite mayhem,
I just tell everyone to buy this one tuning app. Because everyone brings in different little sketchy tuner clip-on things that don't work
always.
properly. And,
always. Yeah, and then they like work. They have to like do. The one thing that makes me laugh all the time is like you'll get them to tune the guitar and you'll be like, okay, I have the tuner here. And they'll be okay. So they have to put the guitar down. They have to put the guitar down to tune it. They're like,
or they tune and they barely tune. They're like, ding.
Like you have to yank it, and then after you say that, they just start like pulling. And you're like, oh my god, the string is gonna snap you.
Yeah, that's the other coin, right? The student tunes it way too high and then like yanks it or something.
Yeah, but the way they tune their guitar says a lot about them as a person. I find. You can
everyone
really
tunes
learn
their guitar differently.
Yeah, it really. But the ones that put the guitar down, there's something about that kind of like, it's very strange.
Kids are so fun. Kids are hilarious.
They are fun. I mean, we were all kids at one point, right? It was all the things that we think are obvious are not. They're just not.
Yeah, exactly.
Nothing about the guitar is obvious. It feels like totally.
Yeah, I know it's hard to kind of put yourself in those shoes, but. We've all been there for sure.
Yeah, and sometimes it's interesting. I started guitar when I was 10, and it sounds like you started around the same time, right?
Yeah, like 9.
Yeah. So
I was really, really a slow learner. I actually didn't start to really like it until I started playing Christmas tunes.
Okay.
Because a lot of those RCM books are kind of. A lot of those beginner pieces aren't very melodic,
Yeah.
It's a lot of a lot of them are like etudes, just kind of arpeggios and whatnot. But I don't know. I think just playing music that I recognized kind of ignited something, you know. And yeah, I see the same thing happen with my students. Like if I give them a song that they know, they light up and they're excited.
Mm-hmm.
They immediately start playing well too. Like they can, you know, versus some piece they've never heard of.
Yeah. It's hard to convince them, you know, and there's something, you know, I think people are increasingly talking more about, you know, the fact that it's just a little bit racist to make students say like, well, this is the correct way to do this, and this is the correct music, and you must obey, and
oh, totally,
you know,
yes,
something just a little bit like, it's
authoritative.
Very.
No, I like to kind of, I mean, most of my students are beginners right now, so I kind of just spend like the bulk of the lesson doing, you know, stuff that will actually help their playing, and then for like 10 minutes I'll just like find a song that they actually want to play.
Yeah.
Kind of just, even if it's, you know, some like Ariana Grande song or something, you know, like whatever it is, just kind of, because at the end of the day, if that's what's making them happy, that's the most important thing, you know.
Yeah.
Not having fast scales or a lot of kids are just kind of like looking for anything to do right now too. You know,
I find that a lot of students
people are practicing. A lot of my students actually are practicing a good amount.
Yeah, they put the time in now.
Yeah,
I find that they have learning how to improvise for them is really interesting because they
love it.
Yeah, it's like some kind of fire just emerges.
I think most kids are naturally really imaginative, and I think it's something that kind of becomes stifled as we get older and we're kind of told to do things certain ways. But I think kids, they lack that kind of barrier, so in some ways that kids can be even more creative than, you know, like I'll give my student a blues scale or something and just get them to kind of riff over it, and you'd be surprised what people can kind of, even with very basic training.
Yeah, because you know the fire, it's like a fire, you know, like, and once you light the fire, it's like not even the teacher can stop it. It's like, you know, it's you know, yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. But when you're a neurodivergent learner, it's a little bit different, you know. A lot of Yeah. Do you feel you were like you said you found guitar very difficult in the beginning? Did you find like when was the point when the fire started? I mean, like what did it take?
Well, I've been so lucky. I mean, I've had nothing but amazing teachers. Really, like some of the best teachers in the world, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a great roster there.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
I know that's kind of why I get so nervous when I'm performing. It's like there's no reason for me to fail. I've had the best teachers, you know.
But that's another reason to not be nervous, because
yeah, that's true. I never think of it that way. Though I'm always. Yeah. But there is a level. I mean, people expect you to play well if you study with Renee, if you study with Alex. You know, it's there is that expectation, and I'm glad it's there for sure because it keeps the bar high.
Yeah. It does add something to your resume, you know. But you've done some really great things. You did the Northwest guitar competition.
Yeah, that was a good one. I had some good memories. That's where I met Mike Gibson.
Right. Yeah.
We've had some good times.
So many great. You've done a lot of great things. And now that you're in your doctorate here, so you're going to be studying. Can you tell us a little bit about what you'll be studying for your thesis?
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's probably early in the works, but
yeah. I actually thanks to Jeff and actually to both Jeffs, Packman and McFadden. I've kind of figured something out. So I'm going to be kind of surveying any very little existing academic information there is on extended range guitars, specifically 8-string guitars. Because there's this whole they've existed for centuries. They were hugely popular in the 19th century in the form of the Viennese model guitars, you know, Staufers.
Okay.
Regandi used to play them.
Right, those had harp strings.
People players would improvise, like players like Cost and Rigondi would essentially improvise added bass notes over their written scores. So if you were to hear Rigondi playing like a set of variations, you would have heard low Ds, likely some low Cs in there that you would never hear today. And there's also a huge body of repertoire written actually for 8-string guitar from that era. Legnani.
Okay.
There's a bunch of good Legnani pieces that are low D and low C, so a little higher.
Okay.
But stuff that really doesn't ever get touched just because those notes are missing. So I'm hoping to kind of bring that sort of to attention and also highlight some notational issues, things concerning transcription. I'm hoping to kind of use some of my own transcriptions in the dissertation.
Yeah.
And in the end, I don't know if I'm going to write a method per se. I like the idea of writing a method because if there were one, I'd be using it right now.
Right.
I mean, there's
absolutely.
There's no method for 8-string guitar.
Yeah, same with 7-string, to be honest. Like,
well,
I mean, it feels like a guitar though. The 7-string is a guitar, but
with
you would have it different.
With 8-string, I mean, it's hard because there are so many ways to tune it, right? The standard thing would be to continue the pattern of fourths, so you'd have a B, so
oh, and
then F,
Alexander
F
Dunn has entered the chat. Excellent.
But that F sharps, it sounds kind of wobbly, right? It's kind of, I don't know, it doesn't have quite enough bite to it. But
Yeah.
if I tune it up to a G, instantly better. It resonates with the guitar as well.
It really
I'm
sings.
thinking about trying to propose sort of a standardized tuning, and then kind of writing a bunch of exercises that people can use. I'm not sure how I'm going to write these. Like, I'm trying to figure out notation as well. So I'll probably have to use grand staff.
Wow.
Yeah, I think being able to read bass clef is pretty essential.
Yeah, it's a really important skill. It's really helped a lot in my life. I can't say how many times I've really been thankful
Alex
for
Dunn
that.
is here. Alex is responsible for me learning bass clef because he once told me to pick a cello suite and read it from bass clef and tune down. So I ended up reading the C minor suite, all from bass clef with the low C's and everything. Really great exercise. It really kind of sharpened my bass clef reading, which I use now pretty much every day.
That's amazing. Wow.
Yeah, I mean the instrument really fits better within bass clef than treble clef, period. But I'm kind of imagining a grand staff situation where the middle C kind of bridges the two. There's no gap in between. But I'm also commissioning a few pieces for the instrument, and I'm sure we'll kind of tackle those issues in the scores. Nathan Bredesen I'm hoping to work with. We talked for a little bit, and another composer from the West Coast, Leo Bueno. And my friend Dante, Andre Cajon, is also writing me a piece. Lots of commissions to look forward to.
Yeah, we're seeing an inflation of guitars.
Yeah.
We're gonna be having Afshin Tarabi on here soon, and he's actually an 11-string guitarist from Quebec.
Wow. That's a lot of strings.
Yeah, and he did his doctorate on Weiss, and it's very, very interesting to see. Like,
are they re-entrant? Like, are they tuned? Yuppies? Yeah.
Yeah, so they go up and down. Yeah, exactly. So
that would confuse the hell out of me.
Yeah, it would confuse me too. I don't know how he does it, but it's very, very cool, and it's a really amazing instrument. It just changes everything.
No, I can't imagine 11 strings. I'm still wrapping my head around 8.
Yeah. And Alexander Dunn says, Soar Opus 7 is a good start, full grand staff at pitch. That's amazing.
Thank you, Alex.
That's great. So, wow. And that's such a cool program that, it's on the furthest west coast of Canada. And 2 weeks ago we had Ben Diamond. That was, on the furthest east we can go in Canada. in
Right,
Newfoundland.
On the furthest
So-
east, yeah.
Yeah, and both of
Exactly.
those programs, Memorial University, Victoria University, they're not talked about very much, but those programs have really pumped out some great musicians.
Really, really. And UVic has had, man, I can't even, I could list so many, but I mean, Janik Rahovec is one in Austin,
Mhm.
Steve Lochbaum, Christopher Boston, tons of great players. Raz Besna, who's now in Montreal.
Yeah, Raz Van Besna, I remember him. Yeah, he's a great guitarist.
Tons of really spectacular guitarists have come out of here. But they
Yeah.
all leave.
They all leave.
And then, yeah, exactly.
The brain drain. Yeah, but they come back. You think you're gonna come back?
I would honestly, after this, I think BC is where it's at. I think if there's any way I could come to BC again, I would. I don't really want to live in Ontario forever unless I have to.
It's so cold.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to coming to Toronto, but yeah.
Yeah, Toronto's its own climate, but it's a very emotionally cold, unlike the rest of Canada.
Yeah, I mean, it's our version of New York, right? It's the closest thing we have. It's not a friendly place.
No. It's very strange.
Going back to the comments here, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I missed a bunch. People want WAP covers.
Yeah, WAP. Yeah, that's a lot of fast rhythms with that one.
A bunch of these comments.
Yes.
Hashtag Brower Challenge. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. This. Are you free? Are you at liberty to discuss the Brian Belcher virtuoso?
Byron Belcher. Yes. Sure.
Are you?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. Are you gonna do the big reveal here? Are you gonna...
Nope. I'll let people just kind of piece it together.
Okay. Yeah. You should. Yes, that's a great project. If you want to check out Byron Belcher virtuoso, he's a great musician. We definitely need to feature him on guitar on Causes for the End of Time one day.
I don't think you do. That is a terrible idea.
It's Byron_Belcher.
Yeah.
Virtuoso. I'm shaking the screen because I'm laughing so hard.
Virtuoso, yeah.
Okay.
What's going on? About -14 in Yellowknife, yeah. But sunny, that's the difference.
Oh, that's actually the worst because it sort of leads you in. It leads you outside and then you freeze to death. It's awful.
Yeah, exactly. People want Byron covers of Ed Sheeran, okay. Did I do well with my A and E chords? Yeah, my mom is learning some guitar. I taught her a couple chords.
Really? So, that's amazing.
Renee says, you need a wrecking ball. You mean the Miley Cyrus song?
Oh, yes. Yeah, that would be a good one to do. I'm really always blown away by these fingerstyle guitarists. And their ability to make, just unbelievable arrangements of some of these songs. Like, it's so next level, some of it. It's just really crazy. Yeah, some of it. Like
not all of it.
Yeah. But I even saw a version of Beethoven's Fifth Symphony,
Oh no, let's not talk about that.
That's a crazy video.
I don't want to talk about that.
It's incredible. I mean, it's very I understand how controversial it is. It's just
Next. Lignani is the bomb. Yes, he is.
Lignani is the bomb.
Oh, Sora Opus 7. Yeah, I know that piece.
It's
coming back to me now.
You're not going to do more tapping and slapping?
No tapping and slapping.
No tapping and slap, even with the 8-string?
Oh, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, you mean like what Alex does?
Yeah.
Tosin Abasi.
Yeah, exactly. But the fingerstyle guitars, Andy McKee.
I really don't like that kind of playing. It's my opinion.
Okay.
It's not my kind of thing. I don't know why. Is it
because it's like one chord? Is that why? Is it?
I just find it lacks, not all of it. I don't want to generalize, but a lot of the stuff I've heard kind of lacks substance. It's kind of like the musical equivalent of watching like a firework display. It's wow, he's slapping those notes so fast. It's so loud, but when you actually get down to it, it's not really that complicated, but it kind of catches people off guard.
Right. Yeah.
Especially non-musicians.
Like,
I mean, I'm sure a lot of people have like an uncle or something, who like, hey, did you see that guitar video and it's like the kid on the news playing,
right.
It's just some slappy thing.
Yeah, but it's a quite sophisticated level of coordination. That they're actually able to do. It's
yeah. Oh yeah.
It's not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
absolutely.
And Michael Chapdelaine, his videos are great too. I mean, if you see like.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm saying I'm generalizing here.
Yeah.
But he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love acoustic solo guitar. I mean.
Yeah.
Bruce Coburn, Pat Metheny, both have great albums. Counter. I mean, a lot of the stuff I played is, it's fingerstyle acoustic guitar music.
Yeah.
It's not the percussive stuff.
Yeah.
It's jazz oriented. I like that kind of stuff.
Right. Yeah. This is interesting. A lot of people are much more attuned to rhythm than they are to melody, and vice versa. I think, there's some people, it's a rhythm is very compelling though sometimes. I find.
Yeah, and it's something that I need to work on because I don't know. I feel like a lot of the guitar repertoire. Obviously there are exceptions, but I feel like a lot of it is rhythmically very static.
Yeah.
Very textural. It's most of the stuff I played, at least. I haven't played too many pieces that have really rhythmically challenged me yet. So there's time yet for that.
Yeah. Alexander Dunn says the world needs Nick Cave and Phoebe Bridges guitar arrangements.
Phoebe Bridges, yeah, both.
Yeah.
Phenomenal musicians.
Nick Cave recently died, if I'm not mistaken. That was actually very sad. I don't want to say that if it didn't happen. It did happen, right?
Wait, who died?
Nick Cave, I think.
No, wait, no, Nick Cave didn't die.
Okay, am I? Do I not know what I'm talking about?
No, Nick Cave didn't die, did he?
No, Nick Cave didn't die. Okay, I'm making stuff up.
A lot of people died, but not Nick Cave.
Okay, Nick Cave did not die. Okay, it was a different artist.
Nick Cage, maybe? Did he die? I hope not.
Oh.
No, he didn't die.
No.
Honestly, I can't keep track of the celebrities who died.
It's so sad. We've lost so many people. I mean,
some of the best.
Nick Cave is not dead. Okay, I'm an idiot. Let's just scratch that from the tape. Okay.
You're gonna start like a media torrent now. People are gonna. Your face is gonna be in the headlines.
Yeah. Okay, his son died. Yes. Oh, I see. Alexander Dunn. That's what it was. Yes, it was a very tragic situation. Hey Adam, how's it going? Adam Chickalides here. His son passed away, and he wrote a crazy, beautiful album about it. That's a heavy level of loss. Wow.
Which album? I don't know.
I don't know. I actually don't know enough about Nick Cave. I have a friend named Alec Reeford. He loves Nick Cave. He's like.
But he can kind of do it all. The writing, the music. Just kind of one of those people that does everything well. Yeah,
it's just
How do we get talking about Nick Cave?
Oh, I think it's because Alexander Dunn was mentioning. Yeah, but it's oh man, I could talk to you for like hours about so many different topics. We just get going. We both have this like kind of like. We have a circumstantial way of like going through all these different topics so fast. It's great. I could talk to you for hours, man.
Very stream of consciousness.
Very stream of consciousness. But does anybody here have any more questions for Simon? I watch myself in the video in delay, and I always notice like my hands are like spinning. It's quite.
Yeah, you do gesture a lot.
It's quite.
You have busy hands.
Yeah, I'm always like talking with my hands. Does anyone have any more questions for Simon?
No questions.
Oh, Jennifer Roland says this. I think Daniel is really awesome. Well, you are really awesome, Jennifer, for raising this excellent man.
Daniel is really awesome.
This is. Yeah. Thanks, man. If you haven't already donated to this amazing musician here before us, Simon Farintosh, then please do so. You can go to https://paypal.me/concerts for end of time. And if you aren't familiar with what Concerts for the End of Time is, it is a concert series that I basically run entirely myself, and then we bring artists from all over Canada to play every 2 weeks. And it's every 2 weeks at 7:30 p.m., mild fluctuations depending on the time zone. And we always have really great conversations after, and we always bring in great artists like Simon, and all of the donations that are made during the concerts go directly to the artists themselves. So I do not take any profit, and I don't intend to in the future. And we're doing this so that artists can always get paid a good amount of money for concerts. I think this is a very important thing that I'm trying to work towards. People like Simon should be paid millions of dollars for these concerts. If he was a hockey player, he would be paid millions of dollars for this, but he's not. So, it's okay if he doesn't get millions, but, it would be great if he got a living wage for doing this great music that he's doing. So, always encouraging everyone to, support local artists and support local musicians, because
musicians get very good at living off of canned food.
Yes, we get very good at living off of canned food. And, when all of civilization crashes and nothing is left, what we will remember is our instruments, we'll remember our culture, we'll remember the things that seem to be the least important now. And so it's really important to, contribute to the arts, and, especially during this time, when it's so difficult and we're all working together. So, Chickality says...
Also send Daniel money if you can.
If a lot of people have been talking about supporting the stream directly. I'm no longer taking direct donations for Concerts for the End of Time. So what you can do is, if you really want to support the stream, you can buy merchandise, which we have at dannyranderstown.com/shop, and we have little mugs such as this one right here. It's a Concerts for the End of Time mug.
It's the perfect size.
It's the perfect size, and it has a beautiful little banner here. And this is a banner image on our Facebook page. All of these pictures here and all these images are hand drawn by a local Toronto artist named Alexandra Papuchina. She's an amazing graphic designer and great artist as well, and she hand drew all of these images. So it's just a really, really beautiful mug. So you can get all kinds of little things like this, and it's just a way of supporting the stream. Then you take a little selfie and share it to people, and we can keep having great artists like this.
People will think you're cool and they'll want to be your friend.
Yes. Julian Saavedra says, "Do you think concerts will?" Hey, Luciano, how's it going? Do you think concerts will be paid in crypto at some point in the future? Last question. I hope so.
That's really going to be the end of time.
Yeah, that's when it all goes downhill.
Yeah, that's when there's not much time left.
It's all right, Adam. It's all right. You don't have to be around for every single concert. It's all right. We were looking forward to having you and Steve together for your duo on June. That's going to be great. Oh, yeah. So we have a lot of great concerts happening. In 2 weeks, we have the Laurier Guitar Studio is going to be featured, and that's going to be very exciting. And so we have a lot of great concerts coming up in May. We're going to have Jonathan Stutchberry and many, many more concerts. You can find them on the twitch.tv/concerts for the end of time. We have a schedule of all the people who will be playing. So thank you again, Simon, for this awesome concert. And thank you everybody who's shown up. And thank you to everybody, especially who donated. So I will see you around, hopefully in 2 weeks.
Thanks, Dan.
All right. Thanks, man. Bye.